Hey guys, welcome back. So again, this is a channel for not unboxings, but of making stuff with all of the beadbox subscriptions that I've accumulated for the past 2 years. I finally got to a point where I just can't have all these beads sitting in a bag. It does me no good. It does the beads no good, even though I enjoy going through them and looking at them sometimes. It just gets overwhelming to have that many beads because then I look at it and that's it. I don't know what to do with them. So this is October 2022 bargain bead box. Yes, this is way back in 2022. So actually it's a year old this month. And these little containers I bought from Walmart. I bought 12 of them and I started putting all of my beads in these little containers, and then I said, oh, it'll be easier to just make something like that. And then they just started accumulating and accumulating, and I have 12 of these now. And I keep getting more of these every single month. That happens to be, this is September of 2023. So last month, I still have the orange bag, which is the October, still sitting in a box that I haven't even opened yet. And it's like, I've got to stop buying these containers. I've got to stop putting these things in containers and just start making. So, we're going to open it up. And this theme, obviously, is rose quartz. So you got all kinds of these different beads. This came in one box. I think everything's in here. Now, not all of this match. Like, I definitely wouldn't use these with this. You know, this is something completely different. Those, I don't know what to do with those. I wish on the bead boxes that they would all kind of correspond with each other so you can make like multiple sets, but it doesn't happen all that time. So we're going to let's focus on the rose quartz. And I do have one bead that broke, one strand of beads. So thank God I opened it when it was over this. So that's where they all landed. So this is obviously going to be our focal, and I don't think I have any bails to use for this. But there is a clasp like this in it, and you could do this. I'm not because it's a little too big. But you can take like one of your hook clasps. You can stick them through your bail, or through your focal, like a donut bead like this. And you can basically use that as a bail. So it doesn't look too bad, but it's really bulky. It's a little big, so I won't use it. I'm probably just going to make a beaded bail, but just to show you that you can use your toggle clasps or whatever clasp, hook and eye, I guess this is what that would be called, to make a nice little bail for your jewelry. So since we're sticking with rose quartz, we are going to pull, without dropping them, some rose quartz out. So these are faceted. I don't know if these are 8mm or 10mm. I think these are 8. These look more like 10. I don't have the paper, so I can't really tell you what's in everything. But we have some faceted. We have some donuts here. And usually rose quartz looks fantastic with silver. It looks really good with gold. But this one happens to have a bunch of copper. So we're going to use the copper. Okay, so we've got these little spacers. So I think I know how to use those. Alright, so I'm going to grab some wire here. And make sure I got a little bead buddy on here. Alright, and for the end, we're just going to grab some of these crystals. So these are teeny bitty crystal beads, and they're two-tone. And it kind of looks like rose quartz. My voice is going, and copper. So we'll use those. I don't know if we're going to use those yet, but I'll put these aside. Okay, so I'm going to start by just stringing some of these bicones on here. It's not really a bicone. It's not quite as pointy as a bicone bead. let's just put this together here. And I'm not going to worry about stringing the focal until I'm done. Oh, and these beads are so small. Okay, so I'm not going to know if I really like this until I just start stringing. And I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm just going to do it. Get some of these big beads. Because when I think about it, then it just seems to be harder for me. If I just go with the flow, might be a little easier. Okay, so we got some little all right, let's add a little one of these again. And I really like these donuts, and so I'm kind of splitting them up with these faceted rounds, because I think those donuts would look really cute in earrings. I don't even know where the holes are on this side. And you know me, I'm pretty much symmetrical, so you know what? I'm going to take this one off. Okay, I'm just going to pull it off instead of trying getting that through the bead again. Let's pull some of these coppers out. And how about a couple of these? And we'll see how that breaks up the design. And then we'll go back to that one. And then back to the big ones. So if I do 2 of those, so that's going to be 2 over there, and I don't have enough to make 2 more. So on this one, we're going to have to put 3, I think. Alright, let's see what happens if we do this. I know that hole is right here somewhere. Alright, so let's at least look at that. So I think I kind of went backwards. I don't know, I think the 3, yeah, that might not look too bad. So if I do it like this, I don't know if I want the big or the 3 strands like that next to the focal or a little farther away from it. So, oh, that's a weird looking one. That's more like a cup shape. So let me see what happens if I do the other side differently. Okay, and just leave it like that. So it's either going to be, let's slide all these in here, and that way I can get a better look at it. So it would be like that, okay, or like this with just the two, and I like the two better on that side. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this. I don't need that much bling, basically. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now we just got to do the same on the other side. It's a pretty easy necklace to put together. I love boxes where you don't have to pull out anything from your stash. So that's why I'm trying to make this without having to do that. Okay, so now the thing is what do? I want to just put the 3 in here? And if I put this on there, do I need to change this up? So we're going to see, and I grabbed that one that was weird. All right, so let's see what happens. Okay, so this would fall right in here in the middle. I just don't know if I need more room before putting this big one in here. I guess the only way I'm going to find out is by putting it together and not putting a clasp on it until I get that focal figured out. So let's do this really quick. So I have a clay project in mind that I want to do next, and I am making the cutter for it now. I don't know, I was out to dinner last night and it just came to me to try this. So we're going to try and make an electric guitar. And I kind of scoured the internet a little bit just to see how the string would go through and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting, I will tell you that. I don't know if I can execute it, but I'm certainly going to try. And I think you're kind of sideways here, aren't you? Sorry. My phone ran out of juice, so it's kind of plugged in, so that's trying to get into my face every now and then here. Alright, so where are we now? We need one of these. And another one of these. I'm back to these 3. And that. Okay, I just need another bead cap. I think this one needed the 3, and I didn't want to put 3 beads together without spacers, although you could, like those 2. I think I might need to just break them up a little bit. Okay. Another bead cap. I think these are the same. I don't know why I have them in two separate ones. I'm thinking they're the same. They are. Okay, and then one more of these. And another 3 of these. Okay, so that's basically what I came up with. So, I'm not really sure how to use these bead boards. As far as I know, there's not going to be a second strand. I don't make those very often. I could. I've got enough beads to do that. But that's your center right there. See, I keep moving them. Because again, I don't know what the difference of all 3 of these are. Okay, so I'm going to leave it alone. So let me go ahead and grab some beading wire. And we're going to go with 14. Oh, green would look really good with that, wouldn't it? It's not like you're going to see it, but I guess I could use green. Oh, I have to buy me some new cutters. So let me grab, I'm looking for some crimp beads. Let's see if I have copper in here. Okay, that's interesting because they should all be right there. This one's literally a mess, but it's the only one that I have all different colors in there. And I really don't want a tube. So, I think that's a crimp bead. Yep, I think it is. I hope so. We're going to find out now. Okay, so I'm going to pray, because I'm taking this off. So I'm going to pray that I don't touch that and destroy it all. And what we're going to do is we're just going to grab a bunch of these copper beads. I'm going to go for 8 to start. I just had it. Five, 6, 7, and 8. I'm sorry, guys, that I can't find the holes that easily on these. Okay, grab one that's already on the string, and I just pulled that out, didn't I? How bad did I pull it? Oh, I pulled it pretty good, didn't I? I was grabbing on something that didn't need to be grabbed. So let me go ahead and put this back together. I've got the strand in my teeth. So This one's got a lot of strings. I want to pull that just a little bit tighter in that way. Hopefully I won't do that again. So now we're just going to slip this through the center. And you just got to figure out how tight you want this. So what I'm going to do, hopefully, is I'm going to grab that little crimp bead like that, and then we can just crimp this together. So we're going to pull just to see. Okay, so I'm going to need at least 2 more. So we're going to put 2 on each one of these, or 1 on each, and we'll try it again. You just don't want to just lay down very easy. Okay, we're going to go 2 more. 2 more, and then I'm not even going to look at it. If I make a mistake, then I'm just going to tear it apart and do it again. But I think 2 more should be enough. Okay, so there's 1 on that one. And 1 on this one. Okay, now the thing is going to be, is how easy is this going to be to crimp together without it becoming loose. My goodness. If it's not my eyes, it's my hands, isn't it? And yep, I dropped it, but I dropped it right here. All right, now I gotta find it. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got that on, but there's a little struggle here. And I'll kind of show you. It's the way that it lays. So even when this is even, and I know it's not even right now, but putting the crimp bead, there's a little bit of this string that hangs a little lower than this one. So I think what I'm going to do, I thought I'd put both of the strings through a regular 4mm, but can you see that space on just this one side? So it's not quite fitting well. So I'm going to try and put that through there, put that through there, and let's see if we pull it, if it'll bring them both together. Okay, so it does. So see how that brings it perfectly together, which is what we want. But now it's like, okay, what do I do with these 2 guys? So is it going to look really bad if I put the crimp bead on top? I don't know. could also use a jump ring, but a jump ring is just really boring. Okay, so if that hangs like that, and that's why I use the green. So it's going to basically hang like that. But isn't that funny how it's a little less prominent on one side than it is on the other one? But we're going to try it. I mean, what do we got to lose at this point? If I don't like the bail, I can always redo it, right? It's just something a little different. And I don't do anything different very often, so I'm going to make sure those are laying flat. I hope this is a crimp bead too, because it don't feel like it. I don't think it was. It had to have been. Okay, and then I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to my standard regular crimpers because they seem to just make these holes a little bit more round. Yeah, that didn't really make it round, but we're going to cut this off anyways and see how it looks. Okay, so anyways, obviously we can't just slip this over, so we have to take this off from here to here. And I may not use the center right here. I may just lay it straight on the string, because I don't think it'll lay right if I don't. And then I'm going to have to clean up that edge somehow. But that's why we didn't put a crimp bead on this yet, just in case we changed our mind. Okay, I'll do one more of those. I lost the metal bead. Ah. Okay, so now one more of those. Oi. And now we're on the the 3 strands. So there's one. You know, you could even wire wrap this too in sets. Would probably look really good too. And that way it adds just a little bit more copper. So I wanted the beads to stand out more than the copper. So that's why I am stringing this. But a wire wrap would look really good too. Alright, so let's see how this is going to look. Okay. Okay, so that is what we have. It sticks out. It sticks out not as much as the hook and eye that I use, but it still sticks out a little bit. I don't know if I have a bust right here, but let's put it on a bust and see how it looks. Oh, all I have is gray in here. But that's what it would look like. I'm going to redo this because I don't think I used a crimp bead. I think I used some kind of a metal spacer, which is probably why it was so hard. Okay, so let's see what it looks like over that. You know, again, the other option is to wire wrap it. And that way you would see the copper a little more. But I kind of like it without all of it. And I'll just add chain to the rest of this. So let's just show you this. Okay, I don't know if you can get a good idea. It's really dark in here, so I'm really sorry about that. I've got to get me better lights in here. But I kind of like that. It's just, it's simple. And I like the copper with it, actually. So that's what we got. I'm just going to remake again. I'm going to make the bail. It's going to be the same, but I'm just going to remake it with a actual crimp. See, the only ones I have are regular copper. So I might have to patina it because it's raw copper. And I don't like that bright raw color. Here. I just wish I had something to put this on that made it look a little better. Like a nice, clean, white anything. You know, I wish I'd make this in white. I know they get really, really dirty, but I just like putting my jewelry on no background. Okay, so anyways, that's what we got. And we're going to go ahead and finish up, and then we'll just take the final picture. And I'll put it in the thumbnail and maybe in the video so you guys can see it. I know I'm not really great at this, as you can see, yet. I'm still working on trying to be more organized and keep more organized, but life just gets in the way. So every time I try and show it to you, it just wants to twist anyways. So anyways, that's what we got, and I'm going to leave that for now, and then maybe I'll come back and see what we can do with the rest of them. Maybe make a bracelet and, I don't know, some earrings. So we will talk to you a little later. Bye. Okay, guys, I came back because, like I said, I was going to rewire that bail. And don't you just like that? I mean, that is so clean and perfect. But how can I keep these things, you know, knot them somehow to where you wouldn't see them? And I thought, you know, what happens if we try this? So bear with me here. I don't know if it's going to work, but it came to my mind. So what happens if we take the crimp bead and put that in the crimp bead going that way, and that in the crimp bead going that way? and using that as our end, like that. Well, it doesn't sit as pretty as the other one, does it? But if we take this, and I'm really glad that I cut these a little longer. I don't know, put it through 3 or 4 of them, right? I'm going to go through one more. This may not work, but it could be a solution. Okay, and then I kind of pull this out a little bit more and give me a little more string. And then we'll do that again on this side. Go through 3 or 4 of them. Ooh, you know what I almost did? I almost forgot to put the focal piece on. That would have been no good. Ah, darn it. Okay, let me string this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was able to put the crimp bead on, and then I put them through 3 beads, okay? And it's on there pretty good. So that worked out really well. But I lost the roundness to this, so I don't know if I'm going to like it. And sorry I didn't show what I did on camera, but trust me, my hands were in the most awkward position all the way through it that I don't think it would have looked good anyways. So it's pretty well rounded, but you can take a trusty old copper crimp cover and all mine are kind of stuck together here. There we go. Usually there's a bead stuck in there, and boy, I can never get those out. So I learned how to do something new tonight. I'm happy. It doesn't happen very often. If I look at something long enough, I end up getting so fed up with it that I'm ready to just quit. And I want this to go over the top like this, so that you are not going to see that open. And yes, my hands are a little shaky because I'm concentrating on it. I would love to open that up just a little more because I'm not sure. Oh, there's got to be an easier way. Just want to slip that right on there. Ah, I do have a little one that's a little bigger, but I really don't want to use that. I just want to push that inside. Okay, let's see what happens if I use one that's just a little bigger. Well, it goes on much easier. I know with watching me it doesn't look like it, but it does go on a little bit easier. Okay, and then I have these, and these are like jump ring. They're for jump rings. They're not for this, but they work kind of well for it. I don't know if I have enough room. to actually get that inside. Okay, we're just going to push it down. Alrighty. Well, at least it's straight. Usually it looks like a duck. Okay, so now there's our bail. So that can be either on the bottom, it might move itself around, but there's your top. So you really can't see it because it's underneath the bottom. So I think we're done. So I just wanted to show you that that was another way that you could try, and it's kind of round again. So it's good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and put the clasp on. I'll take a picture for it, and I will show you the whole thing in the video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye. See you next time.